My predecessor had problems in the post office because he depended too much on his budget officer and his chief accountant. Pag sinabi niyang, may project, pwede ba ito? Sasabihin ng budget officer niya, sir, wala tayong pondo din. Okay, chief accountant, accountant, ano, may pondo ba tayo? Funds available? Sir, wala na. Hindi niya alam, yung palang budget officer niya, yung chief accountant niya, were giving priorities to the choice projects for reasons known only to them. Sila ngayon ang gumagawa ng desisyon for the Postmaster General. But in my particular case, I was monitoring all the major supply items bago gumawa ng desisyon to approve or not to approve a procurement request. I would go over the records of that item, look at the price, at saka bago aprobahin yung isang PR, titignan ko yung presyo. I would look at the history of the price of that supply item para masiguro ko na hindi tumataas at saka hindi nag-over purchase ng mga items. Kasi, you know, when a budget officer or a chief accountant or a supply officer would favor a particular item for reasons known only to them, sila ngayon ang magbibigay ng priority. Hindi yung commanding general, hindi yung commander of a unit, but it would be the fiscal people, it would be the supply people, it would be the chief accountant who would be making the decision. But that decision must be made by the commander. That decision must be made by the agency. The way I did it when I was in the post office. You must be the decision maker in your organization. Number 7, systems. Systems orientation. I think you're all aware of this. A locomotive, a ship, or a plane cannot run on horsepower alone. The machine and the organization must run on sound systems principles. Yan ang parati ko na-emphasize. Sabi ko, itong train na ito, kahit na napakaganda ng locomotive na yan, kahit na nandiyan na lahat ng modern features, with all the power that it needs, but if the railroad is not correct, is not properly maintained, the train is not going to run effectively and efficiently. The same is true with the ship, the same is true with the plane, the same is true with any organization, especially the kind of organization that I had, the post office. Systems orientation. Airmail distribution center, dito binabagsak yung lahat ng mga mailbags coming from Saudi Arabia, coming from the airport. It's located near the domestic airport. There's that, I'm sure you're familiar with that. It's a building, big building, very near the domestic airport. It's very close to the old Caltex station. Diyan binabagsak. You know, when I took over the post office, I found out that pagdating ng gabi, wala nang trabaho dun. So natutulog yung mga mailbag doon, dumarating yung mga aeroplano from Saudi Arabia, malaki yung volume na yan, no? They would be arriving at about 8 o'clock in the evening, some would be arriving very early in the morning. Walang gagalaw dyan dahil walang trabaho, no night shift. When I took over, I immediately saw the systems flow. Well, I guess it helped a lot that one of my majors in the U.S. Naval Academy was operations analysis. So I had appreciation of systems. Mathematics and operations analysis ang major ko in the U.S. Naval Academy. It was very, by the way, I flunked math during my first time as when I took the PFA exam. I ended up majoring in math in one of the toughest math school in the world. The U.S. Naval Academy, almost as tough as the U.S. Air Force Academy of Lieutenant Mendoza here. By the way, thank you, Lieutenant Mendoza, for following up by email sa yung parating nangungulit ng email sa akin. I had to be very kind to him because the U.S. Air Force Academy football team has been losing for 7 straight years to the U.S. Naval Academy football team. So, kailangan mag-innovate ako kay Lieutenant Mendoza. Same with Army. Same with West Point. West Point has been losing to Annapolis for 7 years in a row already in the football games. Okay, balik tayo sa systems. So, pagkakita ko na walang life work, ang nangyayari, naiipon, tambak yan. So what was happening, there was a big mess. Yung mga nasa ilalim, minsan naiiwanan. So that was the reason why during that time, there would be some letters that would take maybe about 1 week, 2 weeks to be delivered. Because they were the letters that were there at the bottom of the pile. Siyempre, pag ikaw ang nagtatrabaho ron, nauunahin mo yung nasa taas, mas madali yun eh. Yung nasa ilalim, medyo pahuli ko. But I introduced the night work, night shift, and I had to go to the president to allow me to give a night differential of 25%. But I did not ask for additional money. Through correct funds management, I was able to find that there were funds available. I did not depend on my chief accountant. I did not depend on my budget officer. I looked into it and looked at the finance situation and found out na merong pera para sa night differential. So, ano nangyari? 0-0 parate. Hindi pwedeng may tambak yan. Every day, there must be a zero balance as far as the mailbox were concerned. And that did away with the backlog. That immediately had an impact on the organization. And then yung 2-day US, we also introduced the 2-day US mail delivery system. You post a letter in Makati, in Manila, and the next calendar day, if it is November, anong date niyo? November 3, you would post a letter November 3 in Makati or in Manila. It would be received in LA and San Francisco, postmarked November 4, the United States. So 2 calendar days lang. And how did we do this? Through systems. We did not spend anything extra. We did not ask for an additional budget. We only streamlined the system. So systems is going to be very important. It's very important to you how you manage your day's work, how you manage your daily activity. You need systems for that. Everybody has only 24 hours, whether you're a general, an airman, a congressman, all of us have only 24 hours. But we can maximize the 24 hours by following correct systems. Project Mercury, that's something that I will talk about later, was implemented because of systems. We reoriented the systems in the post office. Number 8, start with modest but high impact projects, but accelerate fast towards bigger goals. When you're at the helm, one should go for limited but high impact projects to gain credibility first before embarking